So I just filmed a video doing this makeup look, you know, going through it and, you know, being really detailed about which products I use, how I do it, and it was going really, really well until I watched it back. And half of it was blurry. Thank you, YouTube gods. Why? Because originally I actually had a planned video. I wrote everything out, wrote out what I wanted to say, what was actually going to be about, and that kept going wrong. I did it about 3 times and it just was not happening. It didn't feel right. So last minute, the makeup video, YouTube, you know, let's do this. Nope. Half of it is blurry. So I'm going to have to do a different video. Again. So instead of showing how I actually did this, I'm just going to have to tell you what I used, and hopefully this video is watchable. I'm still pissed. But a video is happening, and this is going to be happening. Okay, so first step is obviously moisturiser. At the moment I've been using the Clinique ID. This one is pretty much out, it's almost gone, and I use the Dramatically Different moisturising lotion with this, so I don't use the gel because I have really dry skin, so using anything that's gel based or anything like that does tend to just dry me out straight away and just doesn't work at all. So with this one here, I did have the Blue Pump, which is for uneven textures and pores. I do also use an eye cream as well, and at the moment I've just got the Superdrug Naturally Radiant Eye Cream. This one's meant to be sort of help for brightening, sort of awakening the skin's natural glow. The only thing that it does help with is to sort of make sure that this bit here, which does get really, really dry for me, is nice and moisturised. So then when I'm putting makeup on and I'm putting on my foundation, so it's not going to feel too cakey or too heavy, and I'm not going to feel like I want to claw it off every 5 seconds, which is what usually happens with my skin. Gotta love it. So I go for this. Okay, so foundations. For this look I actually mixed 2 together. They both are kind of my colour, but one's a little bit too dark and one's a little bit too pale, so by mixing the 2 together it just doesn't just help to sort of give me like a more full look. It's just sort of that perfectish colour. The 2 that I use are the Revlon Colour Stay, and that is 150, so that's the one I use. This one can be a little bit pale, even though it is pretty much my right colour. And then I use the L'Oreal Infallible. Is it Infallible or Infallible? I never know with this one, but I've got this one in 100 Linen. This one is good more for your dry skin, but after a while it did tend to get like a little bit oily if I just use this one on its own, because this one is a little bit more drying. So by mixing the 2 together, it's sort of like the perfect combination, not just for colour, but for like consistency and sort of making sure that it is, you know, right on my skin and that it doesn't feel like it's too drying. So I tend to mix these 2 together, and like I said, it gives me more full coverage and it just feels really nice on the skin as well. And then for the concealer that I use the Revolution, and this is the Conceal and Define Infinite concealer. It's bloody massive. I mean, so is the Dofa, is it? It's huge. So you know you're going to get a lot of good products out of that. And the thing is, you only need the tiniest amount. You do not need much of this at all. It is so full coverage. I've got the colour C2. Now I think it is maybe just that little bit too pale, I will admit, but when I'm mixing those 2 together, it is a little bit dark, so then this one can help with the highlighting and just sort of making me look more awake. But if I'm wanting to go for one that matches my skin colour, I probably maybe want to go for C3. But if you want a really high coverage concealer that lasts for ages, this is a really, really good one. Okay, so for powder, I've actually had this powder for I don't know how long. I think I should probably get a new one, seeing as most makeup is like 12 to 24 months, and I think I've had it a lot longer than that, which is a bit bad. But this one is the number 7, and it's the Translucent Perfectly Light Loose Powder. Did that come out right? But this is the powder that I use. I just use it on the under eye, the side of my nose, and then any sort of excess I use on the chin and the forehead. Because again, if I use too much, it's just too drying for my skin, and it just feels like the Nevada desert and I want to claw it all off. Okay, so at the moment, the bronzer I've got, I will admit, isn't the best bronzer. Because the one that I do use at the moment is the Primark It's the PS range. It's the brand's Glow Matte Bronzing Powder, and it's in the colour Fearless. It stays on for a bit, but then by the end of the day, it's like I never put it on. So it doesn't stay on for very long, and I will admit as well, I think it's probably just that little bit too orange for me. I could do with finding one that's a bit more subtle, a bit more of a sort of a natural brown colour. For the time being, this one's really good, but I am looking for a new one. And there's one actually that I want to try out, which is by Kiko. And the reason why I know this one is because of the YouTuber Soph. She uses Kiko bronzer and she absolutely loves it, so it's one that I definitely do want to try. I've known for ages about it, but I just keep putting it off to buy it because I'm like, oh, I'll use this one up, but in reality it's just rubbish. So I don't know why I keep it. Screw it, I'm just going to buy a new one. Now for my blush, I try and avoid powder blushes now because they just dry me out again. So what I've been using is like a stick, and it's the Collections Speedy Blush. It is more of a cream based blush, so it's just in like a stick like this, and it lasts for ages. Basically what I do is I just use these, so I just use these two things and I just rub it in and I just dab it on. And what's really good about this is that I can do it, essentially I can build it up. So like the first layer is just that little bit subtle, so if I'm just wanting more of a subtle look, just that one layer is going to work really well. But obviously if I want it to be a bit more prominent, then I can just go in with another layer, and if I want to be even more, I can do that. So that's something that's really, really good about this one, is that it's buildable. Another thing about this, it's never ending. Just keeps going. I'm not even going to go anymore because I'm scared that it's going to fall out. But this just lasts for ages. So I think, I maybe paid about 5-6 quid for it. And this stuff stays on all day. So you know, this isn't going to budge. And for the fact that I only paid like 5-6 quid for it, it's a bargain. So again, it's another product that I would definitely recommend if you're looking more for like a cream blush that really stays on and you don't want to be paying ridiculous prices. This one is amazing. Okay, so I'm moving on to the eyeshadows now. At the moment, the ones that I've been using, it's all the same brand. So it's all the Tarte palettes that I've got. Now, these ones I actually did get off my auntie because she uses the Tarte foundation and the Tarte Shape Tape. And she gets them off, like, I think the TV, they sell them on the TV, and I think this is where she gets them, and she gets all the palettes. So she doesn't really use them that often. So I was able to get them off my auntie, which, thank you auntie. So then that saves me like 100 odd quid. You gotta love aunties. I've got these 3 palettes, and I used, apart from this one, so this palette is the Leave Your Mark eyeshadow palette. I don't know if any of these are still being sold, but I will definitely have a look for you and sort of let you know. It's just this little one here. So it has got the shimmers in them, so all of these here are shimmers, and then these 2 are more of a matte colour. For today's eye look, I did use Speak Up. So this one's just a really nice colour, just to sort of, as your, what's the way you say it? Oh shit, what's that word? Is it just base colour? I think so. That's the one I use for my base colour. And then this palette here is the Amazonian Clay palette. So this is the one where it's got everything. It's got your shimmers and your mattes, but it is more mattes. So it's just this one here. All of these are your mattes and these are your shimmers. Colours wise for these, the ones that I use are Classic, Innocent, Whimsy, Chic, Bold and Mod. So at the moment for this eye look, I have the colour in here that I mentioned that I use for my base, and then I place Innocent on top and I just sort of bring it over, and then I have got the Whimsy colour on as well, just on the outer corner, and I put them all on the bottom lash line as well. And for the shimmer that I've got on the outside, I use the ethereal, I don't know how you say it, but it's this one here, and it is such a pretty colour. So for my mascaras for today's, I am using the False Lash Effect. I've used this so many times, and also I've had it for a long time, so I probably could do with buying a new one. My voice is going. I've tried wearing false lashes and they're just not for me. I feel like there's just such a weight on my eyes and I do not like it. So when you do find a mascara that really works, so it makes your eyelashes look really long, then, you know, it's amazing when you do find it. And I do really like this one. My voice is going, what is going on? This is not my day at all. My battery died. This day just keeps getting better and better. Okay, so I don't actually know if I finished talking about this Revolution eye crown pencil thing. Anyway, it's really good, it did my eyebrows and it works. So, but now I'm going to be sort of talking about my lips. Obviously, you know, you use a lip gloss or a lipstick. I've actually just used a lip crayon, and it's possibly one of the best lip crayons you could buy ever, or that I've ever bought. That it's just amazing. And it's the one by Kiko, and it's the Everlasting Colour Precision Lip Liner. Now, there isn't like a colour name, I've just got a number that says 421. Don't know if that's right or not, but this is just, it's amazing. Something that stays on your lips and it does not budge, whether you're drinking, eating, anything like that. This is the one to go for. Usually if I go on a night out, I'll wear this because obviously, you know, you're drinking a lot and doing a lot, depending on who you are and what you like to do, you know. Kiko as a brand are just amazing. The stuff that they do is brilliant. Lip colour wise, this is my favourite. This is the best one that I've got, and you know, just I can't rave enough about it. The final step is to basically fix everything in place, and again, it's my trusty Revolution. I have so much Revolution stuff, it's actually crazy. It's not actually until now that I've realised just how much I have. Well, they're a good company. So I use their fixing spray, their base fix, and it is so good. It's like a really fine mist. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but did you see that? I have no idea. But it's really fine and it doesn't feel like you're just getting droplets on your face, and it helps to keep your makeup stay in place for so long. So this stuff is really good. Again, I think I only paid maybe what, 10-12 quid for it. So it's not expensive at all, and even though it's a small bottle, it lasts for ages because you don't need to spray too much on. You just need a little bit and it just keeps it all there. So even though it's a small bottle, it stays for ages. And that's all the makeup that I use today on this face. I mean, well, at least I've got a video. Although it's taken me a lot longer because A, at one point my camera wasn't actually filming. B, the battery died, so now I'm having to use my phone. Today's just been a shambles for me. It's just not gone how I wanted it at all. It's just not happening. So, like I said, at least I've got something done today, and the video is going to be going up, and hopefully it is going up. I hope you enjoyed it today, and if there's any makeup products you know that you use, that I use, that you also use as well, you know, let me know. Also, give this video a thumbs up, and it would also be great if you would subscribe and sort of see what new content I'll be bringing along the way. I upload a video every Sunday, and I hope to see you every Sunday as well. Now time for the editing, and I hope to God the editing goes well. Okay then, bye!